me. Yay! Even though she may have said nasty words, she screamed back at me. So it works. So you have to make sure what you're doing is what you want it to do. And then, of course, the intensity, the stronger it is, the more effective it will be. I always tell people how many times you need to touch a hot stove to not touch a hot stove again. That's a pretty powerful puncture. So those can all make it more effective. Another thing to keep in mind is that when we use procedures like this to address behavior problems, we really should go through this hierarchy. We want to make sure that all the medical, nutritional, and physical needs of your birds are met. So say you've got a parrot that's biting every time he steps up on your hand. You may want to make sure first that it's not a medical problem. He doesn't have like a sore foot and he doesn't want to step up on your hand. That's part of it. You want to make sure it's easy for him to do the behavior. That's what the antecedent arrangement is. So say, for example, I asked Pudding to step up from there. If he was on that table and I held my hand way down low, that's a little harder for him. But if I held my hand a little higher than the perch or the table, he's likely to step up on it just because of the physiology of parrots. It's a little easier for him. So we want to make sure we make it easy for them to do what we want. Then we're going to use our positive reinforcement strategies to train what we want. And then we're going to reinforce, if we're looking at problem behavior, like Pudding right now. What could I reinforce instead? What's a different behavior I could reinforce instead of trying to punish him for doing something wrong? I can get him back into his foraging green, right? I can say, oh, look, there's more goodies in the foraging green. That's a behavior that I can positively reinforce that I find is acceptable.